Sorry. What? You know... What? I'm sorry.
Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play of Persona 5 New Game Plus. We are here on the 18th of June and it is going to be a very busy day today, as you can tell by the insane length of this episode. If you hadn't guessed already, this is going to be an episode in which we go to Mementos, and what's happened, and this is sort of how the game is kind of designed, is we've collected a fair number of Mementos requests, both from Mishima, but also we've had a few Mementos requests just very recently tie up. So first of all, we got the request from Kawakami, although she might not have directly requested it from us, but we can talk with Kawakami and help her out with her Mementos requests. And also we have the Mementos request associated with the group who are the Burglary ring that are using the Phantom Thieves, or going under the names of the Phantom Thieves, and they're besmirching our name. And this one is only unlocked today, so the 18th. And yeah, so we've got a fair amount of stuff that we can do. This is pretty much the earliest time that we can continue with Kawakami's Confidant link, which I've already said is a real strong aim at this early stage because of how useful her Confidant link is. We really do want to keep racking up the ranks in her Confidant, but it also gives us an opportunity to clear a decent amount of Mementos requests at this early stage in the game. We're also going to be able to finally make some more progress with Takimi as well, which is always nice after we deal with her Mementos request as well. So lots of reasons why we're going into Mementos. We've got lots of things that we can do, and it just so happens that this day is a really good day for it because there's so many things that we can do. So just to give a quick rundown before we hit the little cutscenes before and we discuss the targets that we currently have in Mementos. Because it's a Mementos episode, that means that we're going to do a bit of fusion, so there's going to be a lot more personas for us to talk about, and we'll get into that in a bit. Because it's a Mementos episode, that means that I'm going to chat to you guys about 4 more Confidant links, in terms of the sort of some slightly more detail, a bit more finer detail with regards to 4 of those Confidant links. And we're also going to talk about the second of the 5 social stats that we upgrade over the course of the game, and that stat is Guts. So lots of things for us to talk about, so you can get in there.
Well,
listen up.
I agree.
I'm on board. Listen up.
Sure?
Listen up.
Very well.
Listen up.
I'm gonna make him pay.
Nice. Listen up. Nice. Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Has been confirmed in the depths. Updating guidance information.
What's this?
It looks like the places we can go has expanded again. It's because we made Madarame's palace disappear, right?
Most likely. I think.
You seem rather uncertain. How far does this Mementos run, anyway?
It's huge. Extremely.
You're always so vague when it comes to the important stuff. It's like he's kind of flaky as our chief of operations. Don't you want him to try a bit harder, too?
You didn't have to add that cat part.
There.
I don't fully understand, but Mementos and the palaces are related to each other, correct? Then all we must do is continue changing the hearts of evildoers to ascertain its full expanse. I don't believe there's a need to quarrel over it.
Okay, so because this is going to be a very long episode, it means that I figured we should start fast forwarding the action as I talk pretty much from the start. A lot of these very early battles are going to be very, very simple because we're going to be a much higher level than most of the enemies. And because the early levels in Mementos are so short, only like 2 levels, or 1 level even, I see no reason for us not to quickly dash through them and just pick up the treasures, pick up any chests that are around. I think in this visit to Mementos is the first time that we run out of lockpicks in the game, which is something that shouldn't happen too often, but does happen here.
There's no darkness my eyes can't illuminate.
I'll admit they're useful, but how are they lighting up?
These tracks are incredible. Where do they even go?
I guess we'll find out if we ever reach the end.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is Guts, the second of the 5 social stats or sort of human parameters that we can control that we start to increase. And Guts is probably the most important stat for us to increase quickly at the start of the game. So the reason for that is twofold. One is because there are several confidant links, early confidant links, that are blocked off without us being able to use Guts, without us having a high enough level of Guts. And all of those confidant links would be good to get us started. The second thing is that Guts, unlike a lot of the other stats, is probably the hardest one for us to just increase by itself. There isn't a pure activity that is just designed just to give us Guts, as there are for other things, and we won't be picking up lots of points in Guts just by doing day-to-day activities, like we do, say, for knowledge, where you get loads just by doing all of the classroom quizzes, the class questions and the TV quizzes, things like that. So Guts is generally one of the harder ones to upgrade, to level up, and it's also one of the ones that, so it's one of the hardest ones to level up, but it's also one of the ones that we need really early on to start several confidant links.
Sometimes when you're in Mementos, you can hear someone crying somewhere.
Hey, stop it! La la la, I can't hear you!
So, as with all human parameters, it works the same way as we spoke about in knowledge. So 1 music note represents +2 to Guts, 2 music notes represents +3, and 3 music notes represents +5, with some variation that you can add to that if you have specific factors that will increase or decrease the amount of Guts you get. And then just to quickly go through the points, because of the fact that we aren't getting all of these free points as we were with knowledge, guts actually requires quite a lot less, so quite a lot fewer points, I should say, than knowledge does, which is quite nice. So to get to rank 2, we only need 11 points. To get to rank 3, we need 29. To get to rank 4, we need 57. And then to get to rank 5, there's a big jump up to 113. So you sort of, I think you very quickly almost plateau with guts. You get to a pretty high, you'll hit 4 and then you'll just sort of plateau around rank 4 guts. And the things that are unlocked, well, so you need rank 2 guts to unlock Takemi's Confidant Link, so the rank 2 of hers. To get progress in Kawakami's Confidant Link, you need rank 3 guts. To get progress in EY's Confidant Link, you need rank 4 guts. And to make further progress in his Confidant Link, you need rank 5.
You're pretty good at driving, Joker. Don't tell me you've driven before.
I'm helping too, you know. This wouldn't be so easy in other cars.
So lots of things there, a lot of good Confidant Links, especially Takemi's, where you could get your bonuses at the clinic for buying things, and obviously Kawakami's, which we've spoken about before. But also EY's Confidant Link is very useful because it also gives you decent boosts to your proficiency stat as well. So lots of good reasons why we want to increase guts quickly.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen. What was that?
Okay, so we are here with our first Mementos target here with Sakoda. So Shadow Sakoda, he takes the form of a black frost, as we can see. And what's interesting with him is that, so his main weakness is Bless, as you can see here. So you might not necessarily have a Bless skill at this point if you haven't been too rigorous with making sure that you've got one of every single type of skill. But the boss battle, this battle as a whole is not really that bad. This guy is obviously the guy who we've spoken about when it comes to he's doing all the bullying at the school. He was controlling someone else who was also doing bullying. So all not very nice things going on. You might not want to use Arn in this battle just because he does use Mabufu, and so you don't want to give him that extra attack. But again, at this stage, it's not too bad a fight as of right now. He's also not confusable, as you might be able to guess from the activity, from the fact that I'm not trying to confuse him, I'm not trying to grind him for money. We will definitely be grinding a lot of the other enemies, the boss enemies in this Mementos run for money when we can, but it just so happens that this particular one, we can't do that. Anyway, so that's that. Nice, quick and easy first boss battle. And I'll chat to you when the cutscenes are over and we can talk a bit more about how we raise the guts statistic.
The persona has gained new power.
Okay, so I was going. Well, I realized I was going to talk about guts, but actually, there's very little time between this and the next boss battle here in Mementos, which is on just the very next floor below. So I think we will just wait until we hit that particular battle to continue talking. This one we will definitely be able to confuse, so we're going to get lots and lots of money.
If it didn't spread on the internet, nobody would have believed this Phantom Thief stuff.
If you think of it like that, time is on our side. Then... Oh!
Yes.
I'll show you!
Okay, so here we are. This is the battle that is associated with the burglary ring that are used in the Phantom Thieves names. And what's interesting is I think there was an OVA of the anime that was done specifically about this battle, where they actually interact with also these three shadows as well, which is pretty cool. So of the shadows here, we know Oni, and we know on Moraki, which is the sort of the bird enemy. We really need to take care of him first, just because he does have the insta-kill move Mudo, and if we're not in a particular... If we're not careful with Joker, then obviously that might hit us, we might just die, it can just happen, it's just like that in this game. And so you do need to be careful, you just need to bear that in mind as we move on. However, as you can see, the main guy, Shadow Makigami, is most certainly confusable, and we will spend a fair amount of this battle once we take care of the small fry around him. We'll spend a fair amount of time grinding money off this guy. And thankfully, we're going to be earning a lot more money than we were last time, because we'll have slightly higher luck stats with regards to our persona. And so a higher luck stat is exactly what we need when it comes to determining how much money we're earning. But still, we're getting like 20,000 yen, which means that it's a lot quicker than it was the last time that we were grinding money, which is always good. Quicker is always going to be better. Okay, so I'm just going to let the battle roll on. It falls into a pretty common pattern, as a lot of these battles do. So I'll probably start fast forwarding, and then I'll rejoin you once we've got through to the end of this battle, and we can finish off our discussion on guts, and then we'll start talking about some of the confidant links, and maybe we'll get on to the persona the new persona that we're going to get in this particular episode. So, I'll talk to you then.
You're mine!
Come on, Joker!
Persona! Get ready!
Go!
He's ours!
Yeah, nice one, Panther!
Here he comes!
Persona!
Persona! Super Persona!
Persona! How about this?
Come on. Here he comes.
Big Mark Ball! Ah!
Sorry.
Where did they go?
Persona! Right next time.
Great! Next move!
Persona!
Let's do this!
Drill you!
Have a set! It's almost scary how good I am. Yeah, come on! Alright! The baton pass may be stronger!
It's time. Give me. Come. All right.
Persona! Eat this!
Here he comes. Here he comes. Go or what? Come. Persona! Go or what?
Joker's dizzy! His accuracy's going to work now!
Drill you. Persona. Drill you. Persona! Here he comes. Persona! Here he comes.
Whoa, skull!
Here he comes. Go or what? Drill you. Here he comes. Persona! Here he comes. Here he comes. Yes, close. Let's go. All right. Here he comes. All right. Here he comes. Yes.
What was I supposed to do?
Okay, so to earn guts in Persona 5, the various things that you can do include, there are a bunch of books that you can read, 5 in total, all of which give you either 5 or actually the final book, the most expensive of the books, will give you +7 to your guts, which is very, very valuable. You can also watch 2 sets of DVDs. The cheaper one gives you +3, the more expensive one gives you +5, and that's for both viewings, which means it's slightly more efficient than the reading.
They can take a hit from a car? These shadows are really tough.
Some of them even chase after us. What a freak show.
Treasure chest spotted.
This place feels so lonely. Darkness doesn't help either.
I'll shine a path for you. Turning on my high beams.
We can also look at playing video games. There are 2 video games which are associated with guts, which earn you 3 + 3 to guts each time you play them. And then you also have the films. There are 4 films through the game in which you can earn guts. And they will all give you +5 as a starter, and then if you've read the book, which increases how much you earn, the points that you earn after watching the film, then that goes up times 1.5, so that then hits 7 and continues to increase. We haven't really explored this a lot here, but something that you'll do often if you are trying to maximize is you'll study. And so if you study in the library at the school, you'll get just a +2 to your guts alongside the increase to knowledge. You can also get guts if you order coffee at the cafe. And
Shadows, huh? I can't get used to them.
There's no reason to. You need that pressure. Oh!
Scary.
I should have known.
Alongside the video games, there are holiday events where you play games with some of the members of the Phantom Thieves, and they also give you increases to guts. There's an event at the Maid Cafe where you can increase your guts. If you work at the bar, you can increase your guts if you talk to a specific person. You can increase your guts by doing the Big Bang Challenge, by drinking Algiru, and then finally, if you draw the Phantom Thief on the blackboard, you can also get guts at a specific time in the story.
Hold a moment.
It's all about me.
You're going down!
So whilst I know the Shadow Shimizu battle has just begun, we're just going to really quickly finish off with everything else that you get for guts. The last few things, we've already spoken about it, but if you're in the bathhouse, so we did an episode on the bathhouse previously, if you're in the bathhouse and it's raining and you fail the event, as it were, because you get dizzy, then you'll increase guts there. And then I think the last thing to really mention for guts is rank up events with Tahini will frequently earn you guts. I think all of the rank up events up to rank 8. Whenever you're doing the shady test clinic trial, they will always give you guts each time. Okay, so we have Shimizu here, Shadow Shimizu. Focus of the mission, sadism is just a sign of love. She takes the form of Yaksini, which is a persona that we're actually going to get in this episode, but has obviously completely different weaknesses, as most of these bosses do. Her weaknesses are fire and bless, both of which fire at least will definitely have access to, which means that this is really not that difficult a battle at this stage of the game, and you shouldn't really have any trouble here. It's also not confusable.
What was I doing?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've made pretty good progress through the early bits, we've gained some levels, we're going to head over to the Velvet Room and we're going to start fusing up some more persona, which means that I need to get my big long list of persona for all of the fusions that we're going to be doing, all of the successful transformations that we're going to get here. So, first persona that we are going to fuse is we are going to fuse the persona Eligor from the which is a fire persona, and we're going to get Eligor from Inugami. And the way we do that is we have to go initially via
Select the skills you'd like to inherit.
we need to go initially via Archangel, as you can see here. So we fuse to Archangel, and then we fuse Archangel further to generate Eligor, who is this sort of the horseman enemy that we've seen quite a lot in Kamoshida's castle as well. Eligor was one of the 70 demons of the Gosha. He looks like a knight and has the power to see things to come. He also knows much about war. So Eligor being one of our fire elements sort of persona. The next persona we're going to talk about is Nigi Mitama. So Nigi Mitama is the next persona in the healing line. We fuse it from Hypixie using Eligor. Nigi Mitama is one of the 4 aspects of Shinto thought, like the other Mitama personas that we've had. It works gently to help maintain a calm mind. It is said to aid in one's relations and sociability, and can lead one in a positive direction. Which links nicely with how it's a very, it sort of works with regards to healing you and stuff like that. The next persona that we're going to get is Orobas, which is again a fire element persona, so we fuse it bang in straight away from Eligor. Just by, I think, fusing with bicorn. Orobas is another of the 72 demons of the Gosha. Known as the Prince of Hell, he appears as a horse and answers questions of the past, present, and future. He is faithful to his conjurer. Once we fuse, so that's Orobas. Once we fuse Orobas, we're then going to look at fusing Yaksini. We just mentioned Yaksini there. Yaksini is an ice-type persona, which means we need to re-get Jack Frost out. And then if we fuse Jack Frost with Quapo, we will get Yaksini. So the next in, again, the ice elemental line of persona. Yaksini is a female demon in Hindu lore. Though originally a Dravidian fertility goddess, the spread of Hinduism changed perception of her to a demonic figure, usually depicted as a nude, voluptuous female.
You handle this. These are the tracks you have left.
The next one that we're going to talk about in this particular, or the last one that we're going to talk about in this particular set of fusion, as you can see I'm fast forwarding through all this because otherwise it would take literally forever. The last one we're going to talk about is Sudama, and Sudama is the next persona in the wind elemental line. And we get to Sudama by fusing Copper Tengu with Incubus to get Hypixie, and then fusing Hypixie with Orobas to get Sudama. So again, a wind elemental And Sudama's description says, a spirit of rivers and mountains in Japanese lore. They dwell in ancient trees and ageless rocks. They are not evil, and will often appear as humans or supernatural wonders to warn people. So there we have it. Lots and lots of fusion, as we frequently do in these Mementos episodes. There are 2 more Persona that will come up in this episode, and I will talk to you about them when it's more relevant, so when they actually appear in this particular episode, because I feel like jumping about too much might not work too well. So just gonna have a quick tete-a-tete with everyone here in the safe room, and then we'll move on.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Let's go.
Okay, so we have unlocked the path of Chemdar here, the next level of Mementos, and this is clearly going to be unlocked as soon as we clear the second palace. Sorry, once we've cleared Madarame, we'll now have access to this next level of Mementos, which contains all of the rest of our Mementos targets for this particular episode. In the next sort of bits, we're going to talk a bit more about some of the other confidant links that we've done. So in the last Mementos episode, we spoke about pretty much the first 4 confidant links that you get, being Morgana, Ryuji, Arn, and Eligor. And in this episode, we're going to discuss pretty much the next 4 that we can get. It's not quite exact with regards, because obviously you can now do lots and lots of different confidants in different orders, but the ones that we're going to talk about today are, we're going to talk about Takemi, so the Death Arcana. We're going to talk about Sojiro, or the Hierophant. We're going to talk about Mishima and the Moon, and we're going to talk about Yoshida and the Sun confidant link, and just sort of touch a little bit on each of these as we go through this next little bit of Mementos.
Whoa, these tunnels are so echoey.
You know, your eardrums are gonna pop if you make too loud a noise.
Okay, so Takemi is the first one we'll talk about. The Death Confidant. You can unlock her pretty early on, after just the 18th of April, so really early. As long as you need to suggest that you want you say you're interested in her special sort of medicine. We've said before that she requires Guts rank 2 in order to make progress, and then later on, in order to get to rank 8, you are going to need, in order to reach rank 7 and unlock her Mementos mission, you need rank 4 Charm. Then you have to do her Mementos mission, which we are pretty much just about to do, I think, and then we will make progress. Increasing her confidant link allows you to gain guts, small amounts of guts each time. If you get it to max, you will unlock the ability to fuse the persona Alice, which is the peak persona of the Death Arcana. And the rest of her stuff is all based around her clinic.
Running on the tracks really does a number on my feet.
You mean tires, right?
What a jerk!
Yeah.
I'll never forgive you.
So indeed, just as we're talking about Takimi, we have the Shadow Oyamada Best Battle, and this is another one which is confusable, which is exceptionally useful to us. So it is confusable, has no weaknesses actually, this one, but not too scary to us as long as you have some good healing and you're constantly getting Tarunda on as you normally would with these sort of battles. As it's another confusion-based battle, I will very much start zipping through this. But you can see we're starting to earn a lot of money. We've got 27,000, which is a very nice amount of money to be earning at this. So just to finish off, Takimi, she is, as we've said before, as we haven't mentioned, she is a romanceable character. Being one of the older romanceable characters means that she has some added hoops you need to jump through, some specific dialogue choices that you need to choose in order to unlock the chance to romance her. But we've spoken about that within her confidant ranks as we've been going through this playthrough. And we were just saying that all of her rank up events are largely to do with the clinic. So we're looking at getting discounts at her clinic to buy to buy all of her healing items and things like that. We're also looking at increasing the stock of different things that she has at her clinic, which is also something that's. And then there's a few things, once you're dating, you can take her out to different places. You can do the usual dates that we've spoken about a little bit with Arn in the last Mementos episode. We'll do a lot more of that when we actually sort of reaching towards the end of the game and we're actually looking to do a lot more dating, a lot more sort of giving and taking of gifts and that sort of thing, which will all come as we make progress. Okay, so we've stopped talking about Takimi, so I will fast forward through the rest of the battle as it continues to just be confusion, and I will catch you once we get to the end of it.
Hell yeah! A new move!
Oh, what have I done?
So having spoken about the Death Confidant, we'll now talk about the Hierophant, which is Sojiro. And Sojiro is unique in that his Confidant link is hard locked from us for a specific period of time until we make decent progress. So you can unlock Sojiro anytime after the 20th of April. There's a small chat you can have with him. If you don't have with him, if you don't have that chat with him at all, it will automatically happen on the 6th of June. So, sorry, the 6th of May. So it's absolutely forced on you to at least start his Confidant link. But just letting you know that you can definitely start it earlier if you wish. So the main thing about Sojiro, which is quite interesting, is that he is pretty much the first Confidant in which you just will not be able to... He takes a lot of visits, and you don't get enough music notes from the interactions at the start to make good progress in his Confidant. And so that's why we haven't really been interacting with Sojiro a lot. It's because he takes a lot of effort to move his Confidant link forward, at least at the start. As soon as we get past rank 4, and we can only clear rank 4 after a specific story event, and me mentioning any further than that is spoilers. But once we get past rank 4, he becomes a lot easier to rank up really, really quickly. There is still a Mementos quest associated with his Confidant link, but it thankfully becomes a lot quicker to build him through. That slog between rank 2 and rank 3, and then rank 3 to rank 4 is real. You do need to talk to him a lot. Now we can make that slightly easier by brewing coffee and making curry, because he will come and taste it and you will get music notes for doing that. But again, those are small effects when we do need a lot of points in his Confidant link to get him to the next rank.
You guys look pretty cool, but my thief outfit is the best.
Is that what it is? Can't really tell.
So the nice thing about Sojiro's links are that in doing so you will be picking up good amounts of points in kindness. So you get a decent increase to kindness each for a lot of the different rank ups. So rank 2, rank 4, 5, 6, and rank 7, you will each get plus 5 to kindness, which is a pretty decent bonus. You will also get the ability to cook, to brew coffee and to cook curry, and as you increase his ranks, you will get better increases to that, so it will heal more SP each time, which is always useful. And if you maximize his Confidant link, that will allow you to fuse the ultimate Hierophant persona, which is Koryu.
Ever since we started doing this, I've been sleeping through basically all my classes.
Come on, don't forget about your public image.
So then, moving on from Sojiro, we'll then talk about Mishima, who is the Moon Confidant. His are quite unique. Whether you're able to move on with his Confidant link depends on how many Mementos targets you've dealt with. He constantly sends you messages through the course of the game about different Mementos targets. And once you've cleared a set amount of them, he will then message you about a new one. So there are certain Mementos targets that are locked behind increasing Mishima's Confidant link. His is relatively unique because he and Yoshida, which we're just about to talk about, they are the two Confidant links in which it does not matter what choices you make in the conversations. You will always get a rank-up event with them. You don't even need to bring a Moon persona or a Sun persona, as it will turn out with Yoshida, to either of their Confidant rank-up events. They will just increase by themselves. It is guaranteed to happen as long as you can meet them and as long as you meet their requirements. With Mishima's being, have you successfully completed enough Mementos requests? As you increase, obviously a lot of his Confidant stuff has been about gaining more experience. There's a lot of sort of passive increases to little things in terms of how much your background characters earn in terms of experience, and stuff like that, which is always quite nice, and there's a lot of useful things that you get by looking at, by increasing his thing. So it's also sort of pushed at you by giving him quite useful confidant abilities to then get him to zip forward. If you get to rank 10 with Mishima, you will be able to fuse the Ultimate Moon persona, which is Sandalphone. And also, the other nice thing about Mishima is that there are a fair few events where he will contact you to talk and go and visit a different location. So a fair few locations are actually unlocked by chatting with Mishima and actually meeting him on these dates. And if you unlock the locations that way, that means you don't have to unlock them by reading the relevant book. Which is always good, because reading books takes up time in the end, because there aren't enough book slots, free reading slots, to read all of the books over the course of the game.
Persona, huh? I wonder if I'm using mine right.
For real, I still got no idea how this whole thing works.
Okay, and then the last confidant link that we're going to talk about today is that of Yoshida, Toranosuke Yoshida, which is the Sun confidant link. We've mentioned before about how he ranks up every single time. He's also only available on Sundays, and his rank up events are cancelled. You cannot contact him any further once you get past ranked, past a specific date in November, which is which means it's really important to rank him up early, because you do not want to be left needing, 5 ranks in Yoshida when you realise actually there's not enough times that you're going to be able to see him before that. In talking to Yoshida, you get large increases to Charm at the vast majority of the ranked events, so rank 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10. You get +5 to Charm, which is really, really nice. And a lot of his confidant skills are to do with negotiating with shadows, getting them to give up more money, that sort of thing.
Shadows are so annoying when we're trying to push ahead.
Well, fighting them makes us stronger, so let's be smart about it.
So we can use Yoshida's skills to earn more money just by negotiating with shadows. You also get the chance to earn rare items as well, which is always really nice. Getting new, different items, that's really nice. His final level skill actually allows you to recruit persona that are higher level than you, which is quite useful depending on what sort of playthrough you're taking. If you're looking at being particularly low level in terms of the main character, then that allows you to access some quite high level persona, higher level persona relatively early on, which is quite strong. However, usually the persona that you fuse will be stronger than the persona that you find just in the dungeon. So then the last thing that we'll talk about is you can fuse the persona Asura Ouji, which is the highest ranked persona of the Sun confidant link, once you get him to rank 10. And I think that is it for all of the set of confidant links that I wanted to talk about. So with that in mind, all that's left is...
I started training again. Thought it might help for work.
A commendable attitude. Skull might be worth something after all.
So we're just gonna, as we continue to make progress through Mementos, I'm gonna fast forward up to the next boss. We've still got a couple of bosses, I think, to do, and then we'll talk a little bit about the last couple of things. So we've got one persona to find and one persona to fuse, and then we'll finally be at the end of what's been a very long episode. So I'll catch you when we hit those particular points in time.
Okay. Yeah, we beat him. Let's move on. Yeah, nice.
A spectacular victory.
Okay.
Well, that's not...
Did you try the new drink that just came
There are too many drinks. I can't tell what's new or old anymore.
Losers. A spectacular victory.
Okay.
That's all it takes for me.
There's a treasure chest.
Oh. You guys look pretty cool, but my thief outfit is the best.
Is that what it is? Can't really tell.
I've never even touched a whip before now.
Well, you sure seem like a natural. I can feel it. I can see it.
More enemies. Don't worry, I'm still up to it. 3 enemies, no plus. Great box. 3 down. Don't let one box. Shoot.
Losers.
Nice work, team.
Okay. Yeah, we beat him.
Whenever I try to study, I end up playing games instead.
Yeah, it's hard to quit sometimes. I end up just mindlessly grinding for ages.
Nuclear power is weak, but fire attacks won't work.
Persona! Sudama! Go down!
Looking cool, Joker.
This is my other self! Go on, strike! Okay.
That's all.
You can hear a bunch of voices in the wind.
Stop that! I don't want to think about it.
The first move is ours.
Go down!
Just stay there! Incredible, Joker!
Fine. So... Fine. Pure human. Elora.
Who's next?
A spectacular victory!
All right. Focus.
Now the chance to strike! Use electric moves! Those are
Persona! Sudama! You're mine.
Great move, Joker! Still not flat! Not over yet!
Persona!
Let's go!
Not moving.
Okay.
Sorry.
You've shown some respect. Prepare yourself.
Okay, so we are here with the Takassis and their particular boss battle. This one can be a bit of a pain because there's two of them and they hit relatively hard. However, it is a really good one to get confusion on from both the perspective of that you get to earn lots of money, but also it feels really damn good to take these people who have been, completely stealing from Kawakami and taking all of her money away, and it feels really good to get their shadows throwing 25,000 yen at you a turn in retort for their horrible action. So the way it works, so obviously they have two, we have two here. They take the form of Oberon and Titania, personas associated with, like, I guess, Shakespearean sort of perspective, like Shakespearean fairies and things like that. Only Oberon is weak to confuse, and then in terms of element, he's weak to psychic, or psychokinesis. I think they call it in the game. Whilst Titania is weak to fire, so we can just, because we'll have Arm available, we can usually deal a lot of damage quite quickly to her. And once you take care of Mrs. Takassi, she's a lot, the battle is a lot easier to then just do the, get in your loot for earning lots and lots of money. So that's what we're going to be doing here, and I don't really have too much more else to say, so I'm just going to cut it here. We can zip through the rest of this. Again, it's slightly risky because he can hit quite hard, but as long as you're careful and as long as you're keeping up defenses, if you're worried about defenses, obviously the usual using Tarunda and using Rakikaja on Joker in particular are always good strategies going forward. And with that, I think this is the final of the bosses that we have to do. So I'll talk to you when we return to the Velvet Room, do a quick bit of fusion, and talk about the one other persona that we found. So I will see you then. Sorry.
It's a step forward.
I got a new power!
I'd like to try this skill soon.
I wish this would stop. Not bad, Fox. We're done here. Let's go. Yeah, victory!
All right.
Three of them, but we're the better team.
This is my other self. Where the frick? Don't settle down.
Fox, we're beating two foes. Get them down! We all did a race on the skull. Yeah, victory!
All right. Very well.
Four enemies. Don't worry. We're on the ground.
Searching
We
right.
need to do it, Fox. This'll let you.
Up and down.
Okay. Easy win. They were nothing.
Now's our chance to strike.
This is my other self.
He's on the ground. And you got Fox. Finish up.
And the curtain falls.
All right.
They were nothing. This is my other self. Where the frick?
Fox got two of them off balance.
Persona.
Nice.
Victory is ours.
Yeah, victory!
Okay.
That's all.
Now's our chance to strike.
I am down. Going on.
We got on the ground.
Nothing
And you
left.
can do it, Fox. Finish up.
You got it.
Good work. Keep it up.
too weak to bother with.
That's not right. I'm not done. This one.
Fox is going berserk! Hey, listen to us!
Begin this now.
Persona! You're mine.
Slow down!
Just
That
stay
was
there.
incredible, Joker!
5. Foul human. I am thou, thou art I.
That's a new one.
So what you saw there was I made a very quick journey back to catch one last persona, and that is the Bringer of Misfortune from Madarame's Palace, also known as Shiki-Ouji, which is a very useful persona if you're not doing my run, because Shiki-Ouji has, I believe, both. I think he repels both physical and gun damage, which is really, really good for a huge amount of the game. Like, having good repel physicals is really, really nice throughout the game, and is worth having. But we're going to have to fuse him beyond that, so that's not going to be quite something that we can make
Choose the
use
inherited
of.
skills, inmate.
The reason we get Shiki-Ouji is because it's the first of the Psychokinesis elemental persona. We haven't had one of those yet. He's going to be the first one that we have. He's going to be the first one that we start using everything else from. And Shiki-Ouji is an exceptionally powerful Shikigami. Only the elite on Myoji are able to summon and bind it to paper. It can ward off disaster or cure illness, but its ordinary temperament is quite vicious. So you also saw me fuse Phoenix there, the next of the nuclear elemental persona. We fuse it from Suzaku with Nekomata. Phoenix described as the legendary bird of Chinese myth, said to appear only in times of peace. It is the ruler of all birds. When it dies, birds across the land chirp with sadness.
Right. Wait! For real?
Come on.
Man.
So, another part of the reason why this episode is just so long is because I forgot that we'd have this extra event at the end as we head over to unlock the second hub area of the game, and that hub is Shinjuku. I'm not going to talk too much over this because a lot of this is pretty scripted, and this episode has already gone long enough with me talking over it. But we're going to do a lot more in Shinjuku. We're going to unlock a fair new, a bunch of different confidant links there as well. So we'll be heading over to Shinjuku a fair amount. So that is what we're going to be doing right now. The scripted event as we go and meet the journalist in order to try and get more information about the third palace.
All right.
Oh.
Hey!
Whoa!
Hey!
Whoa!
Are you mocking me?
What? Whoa!
Hey, wait! Man! Are you for real?
Come on, man.
What? You...
Huh?
Right.
Oh, man.
I see.
I'm not interested.
Welcome!
Hey!
Oh boy.
Ah, she reeks of booze.
What a surprise! I thought you were joking, yet here you are! I respect that bravery, so I'll listen to what you have to say. Well, what do you want to know? Oh. Why that? Well, I do happen to know something about that. I could tell you, but... Do you know the Phantom Thieves of Hearts? You know, that case the public has been focused on lately. I was pursuing the issue of people randomly entering into a shutdown state, but I'm lacking intel. That's why I'm currently looking for new material to write about. So, do you have any info on these Phantom Thieves? You're a Shujin kid, right? I remember you wearing their uniform the last time we met. I thought maybe you might have some insider knowledge on the Phantom Thieves because of it. Their first incident was that of Kamoshida, you know? I Ideally, I'd like to get some exclusive coverage from a student who suffered Kamoshida's abuse. I would love an introduction if you know of someone who fits the bill. After all, it seems like handling this matter in the open would be an inconvenience to us both.
A student who suffered from abuse. Oh, what about that Mishima guy? He always seems to be on the side of the Phantom Thieves.
It's a deal then! Send me your friend's contact info later.
You'd better be thankful. My quick wit is the only reason we're getting this far.
Now that I think about it, those mental shutdowns and the Phantom Thieves both seem supernatural. Could they be related? Or am I just hoping for a coincidence? Oh, sorry. I have a tendency to talk to myself on occasion. Well then, you can't exactly consider this an upfront payment, but... Junya Kaneshiro. I think he's probably the guy you're looking for.
Yes!
You should check him out further if you're curious. But I'm not responsible for what happens next. Lala-chan, can I get a refill for this kid? We need to make a toast to our new acquaintance.
It'll be a problem if you stay too long. You should leave right after you finish your water. Yes!
I'm not interested.
I can't listen to this.
Hey! For real?
Hey!
All right!
Wait!
Dude! Ah! Whoa! Huh? Ah!
Wanna head back? Nice. Wow. Okay.